Commanders suffered an embarrassing 45-15 loss to the Miami Dolphins in Week 13. Going to let you guys know my takeaways and my recap from that football game here in just a second. Also, is it time to worry about Sam Howell after his second straight poor performance this week? Then also, Jonathan Allen had a couple comments to the media that might suggest that he might ask for a trade here during the 2024 offseason. I'm going to let you know what I think here in just a second, so make sure you stick around to see what I think about that. But first, man, get into the comments section. Get us started with today's show by answering this question. What was your one-word reaction to yesterday's loss versus the Miami Dolphins? 45-15 on your home field. For me personally, my one word to describe that game was pathetic. My official score prediction was actually 56-10, and I had a lot of Commanders fans come at me say, oh my gosh, you don't believe in us, all these different things. But it's like, you know, it's the number one offense in football going up against the number one worst defense in the National Football League with a change-up at the defensive coordinator position. Of course, Ron Rivera took over defensive play calling duties and immediately gives up 45 points in FedEx Field to the Miami Dolphins. Absolute shit show for the Washington Commanders here in Week 13. Tua Tagovailoa with 280 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, will get to him, 157 yards receiving. This is just a straight-up embarrassment for the Washington Commanders. And really, what was this game plan supposed to look like with Tyreek Hill? I went over the All-22 film last night with this game, and they put one-on-one man coverage against the fastest receiver and the most dynamic player in the National Football League right now in Tyreek Hill. What the hell are you thinking, Ron Rivera? I mean, seriously, you take over defensive play calling duties from Jack Del Rio, and your first thought in your first game as defensive play caller is to put one-on-one coverage on Tyreek Hill. Well, how'd that work out for you, Ron? You got 5 catches for 157 yards. That is an average of 31.4 yards per catch. I mean, just what a figure that is. And then plus 2 touchdowns that went for over 65 yards. An absolute travesty in terms of defensive game planning and just coordinating in general. So my biggest takeaway from this football game is that the Washington Commanders coaching staff, players, all these guys, they're not playing for each other. They're not playing for this season in any way, shape, or form. They have nothing to play for other than their own personal stats to try to secure their future with this organization moving forward. This is not a team effort. This is not a football team right now. It's a collection of individuals trying to get theirs as the rest of the season unfolds. And it's really sad to see as this season completely crumbles to the ground. Now, what say you guys? Should the Commanders tank at this point in the season? My personal opinion on this is that I don't like tanking, but if you're not going to fire Rivera at this point, and it seems like the Commanders are going to ride it out with Ron Rivera at head coach, there's really nothing else to play for the Washington Commanders. So let me know what you guys think. Yes or no, should the Commanders tank at this point in the season? This is also going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube's going to throw an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned comment with a yes or a no. So now another question I want to discuss today is it time to worry about quarterback Sam Howell after kind of having another rough performance here in Week 13 versus the Miami Dolphins? He finished this one with a stat line that was just simply not pretty. 12 of 23 for 127 yards and a pick 6. And this is the second poor performance in a row for Sam. And it's definitely looking like Sam's going to have to pick things up if he's going to want to completely 100% secure himself as the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders for the 2024 season. Overall, the numbers have actually been pretty good. He's had his ups and downs. He's definitely somebody that likes to take risks down the field. He's definitely somebody that in the future has the skill set to be somebody that the Commanders can win because of. And every single NFL team in this league is looking for a quarterback like that. Somebody that can throw the football when the defense knows that they're throwing it. And listen, Sam Howell has done a pretty decent job given the circumstances. He's always under pressure. The defense is not, keeping him in games, all these different things. But yet, he's still at 66% completion percentage for 266 yards per game. And he still has more touchdowns than interceptions at this point. But 14 interceptions is a bit too much. Now, coming up next I'm going to talk about whether or not the Commanders should replace Sam Howell in 2024, at least to this point in the 2023 season. But before I break down Sam Howell and whether or not I would replace him this offseason, let's talk about our sponsor today at PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use our code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100 today. If you want to spice up your game days this NFL season, get started with PrizePicks, which is a skill-based, real money daily fantasy sports game. If you don't know how that works, here's how. You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they'll go for more or less than their PrizePicks projection, you can even win up to 25 times your money on any entry. So my entry tonight for Monday Night Football, I got the less on Jake Browning passing yards. I think he'll get less than 218.5 pass yards for the Cincinnati Bengals. And then I got the more on Travis Etienne rush yards. He's been one of the best running backs in the National Football League this year, kind of quietly, I might add. So I think he gets more than 67.5 rush yards tonight on Monday Night Football. You can check it out now and get your picks in before they kick off this evening. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use our code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100 today. With PrizePicks, it takes less than 60 seconds to make your picks. So get started right now. Get your picks in before Monday Night Football. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use our code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100 today. So my take on Sam Howell is that if he doesn't really turn things around here to finish this season, that likely means Washington is going to be picking in the top 5, if not the top 3 in the 2024 NFL draft. And because there's so many intriguing quarterback prospects, if you're drafting in the top 5 or the top 3 and Sam Howell doesn't finish this season on the right note, as the Washington Commanders, when you bring in this new head coach, you got to do your due diligence on the quarterbacks. You just have to. Right now, you currently sit at the number 4 overall draft slot for the 2024 NFL draft. Right now, only the Bears are sitting at number 1 with Carolina's pick. Then you got the New England Patriots, and then you got the Arizona Cardinals in the 3rd spot. Commanders sit right there with Kyler Murray back. The Cardinals look better. So right now, I could certainly see Washington get inside the top 3 in the 2024 NFL draft. And if that happens, you got to look at potentially grabbing one of these quarterbacks that are really, really exciting coming into the 2024 NFL draft. You got Jayden Daniels out of LSU, somebody that's just about to probably secure his Heisman Trophy here for the LSU Tigers. And then Michael Penix Jr., Washington quarterback, might win the national championship this year. Coop, our producer, big Texas Longhorns fan, is shaking his head no. But he might, man. He's a great quarterback prospect. One of these guys, I have a feeling that at least one of these guys is going to rise up the ranks before we get to the NFL draft there this spring. So if the Commanders are sitting at 3 and Caleb Williams and Drake May get selected number 1 and number 2 overall, I think the Commanders at least have to do their due diligence, and I certainly think it's possible that they fall in love with one of these prospects, especially if Sam Howell starts to struggle. Now, quarterback's not the biggest issue on the Commanders roster, not by a long shot. And personally, if I were the Commanders, I would probably keep Sam Howell as the starting quarterback and give him a new shot with a better offensive line, with a better head coach, all these different things. But let me know down there in the comment section, if you had a choice between these 3 quarterbacks, let me know who you're picking down there in the comment section. Type JD for Jayden Daniels, MP for Michael Penix Jr., Sam Howell, type SH, or if you want another quarterback, maybe like a Justin Fields or something like that, type O down in the comments and let me know which quarterback you want to be quarterbacking the Commanders next season. All right, now let's shift from Sam Howell to Jonathan Allen, where the Commanders' star defensive tackle hints that he may ask for a trade out of Washington this offseason. He's kind of making it clear as day. He was asked on a radio program if he thinks about playing for other teams in the future, and he said 1,000%. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I play this game to win, and I would love to win here for sure, but I want to win first and foremost. So that's always going to be at the front and center of my mind, and everything I'm going to be doing in my career is going to make sure I'll have an opportunity to win. So when I hear somebody like this talking with still 5 games left to go, 4 games left to go on the 2024 or 2023 schedule, I think Jonathan Allen eventually is going to ask for a trade this offseason. Now, this year, he's had a little bit of a downturn. I don't think he's necessarily worth the money that he's making given the production, but he's still one of the better defensive tackles interior disruptors in the National Football League. Has 40 tackles for 9 tackles for loss and 5.5 sacks. The grade is a little bit lower than what he usually is for his career at 63.8, but no one can deny he's still a really hot commodity. And if the Commanders decided to trade him, then he would definitely garner a lot of interest on the NFL trade market. Still has 2 years left on his current deal. His cap hit next year, if the Commanders decide to keep him, is just over $21 million. And, one of the reasons why I don't want the Commanders to trade him, unless he straight up demands it here, is that if you trade him, you take on $12 million in dead cap. That's going to no player for the 2024 season. As a team that's rebuilding, I'm not sure if that's a very smart financial decision if you are the Washington Commanders, and you only really save $9.5 million if you trade him elsewhere. And of course, we know the Commanders already have a ton of cap space for the 2024 NFL season. It's going to be interesting to see how they'll use that. But this is what I'll say when it comes to Jonathan Allen. If the Commanders trade him elsewhere, they better get a good deal for him, because you're taking on $12 million in dead cap for 2024. That's not an insignificant amount of money. You're also losing a really, really good interior disruptor here in Jonathan Allen. So in order for a team to secure him this offseason, the Commanders' asking price needs to be high, and it needs to be worth taking on $12 million in dead cap, as well as losing a core piece to your defense here, somebody that's under contract for the next 2 years. Now, predict it for me down there in the comment section. Will Jonathan Allen be traded this offseason away from the Washington Commanders? Type T if you think he gets traded, or if you think he remains a Commander for the 2024 NFL season. Type N if you think not. That'll be it for today, Commanders fans. I really do appreciate all of your support. Make sure you click that subscribe button for me right now. We're going to be having more Commanders draft content coming out here over these next couple of weeks. So if you want more in-depth Commanders draft content, free agency content coming up here in the next couple of weeks as well, make sure you click that subscribe button. And until next time, hail to the Commanders.